Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a back and bicep day. But at this point, should we just call it a bicep day? Because I only do 6 sets for my lats. But quite frankly, because my back is just so well developed from all the years of powerlifting and all the rowing and pull-ups and everything I did for it, it makes sense. It makes sense. Plus, just my genetic structure. So we only do 6 sets for lats, and I just do right around 10 reps on all this stuff. Sets real close to failure, but honestly, I'm at a point I don't push them all the way to the bleeding edge, although they're right at failure. We pretty much what I do. So it's weighted pull-ups, then barbell rows, and I just keep it very basic because the arms need more work. I don't try to do anything fancy here. We just get the lats finished with some good quality hard work sets, and then we jump over and we just hammer curls. And I'm going to keep increasing just arm volumes. I'm going to focus on just pumping my arms. Since arms in general are my weak link, I'm just going to treat them that way, so we're just going to make up for all those years of lost volume. So again, approaching them very similar to the way other bodybuilders do, even though my background's strength sports, I'm working on physique, training like a bodybuilder, mostly with a little bit of heavy squat, bench, and deadlift in there. So again, stuff I've had to look at. Some of the guys who just do endless arm work, they still have great arms, even if their physique is incomplete. And that's something I was reminded of. I'll talk about that a bit in here. When I've gone recently to more commercial hardcore gyms and seen all the arm bros, you just watch all these guys just pump the crap out of their arms and have great arms with physiques themselves that are incomplete, really incomplete, but it clearly works for them. So just to show you guys what I do, pull-ups, I do a wide grip pull-up. I work on just working the lats through the full range of motion. I don't worry about trying to swing my chin up over the bar or any of that stuff because it's not necessary for lats. It's just training the lats. It's all about scapular retraction and protraction. And as long as your scapula moves through the full range of motion, your lats are going through their full range of motion. So the pull-up to me it's just a lat exercise. That's all it is. All right, then I do just normal barbell rows. I might take these back over to Yates rows, funny enough, because I'm stronger at them. Right? It's like, we get some extra bicep work and I'm actually slightly stronger. I can do more reps strictly. So even though I'm doing the normal bent over row, I might take them over to the Yates rows again this next week. I did them for a little while. And if anything, it might help with my biceps a bit, right? It might help with the biceps. Although I guess people might say at that point, gee, why don't you just do chins again too, right? Not a bad idea. Something to think about, other than I don't want my lats to regress. But then again, are they going to regress? I doubt it. I'm probably going to have a massive back no matter what I do at this point, as long as I keep doing pull-ups and deadlifts and stuff. So it's just something to think about as I get more and more arm specialized. But I could beg the question of as many curls as I'm doing. I don't know if I'd get anything extra out of it. Maybe. I can move more weight though with the same form, so might be something to think about. Not like I'm worried about my brachialis or forearms getting understimulated, because I have forearm day too. All right, barbell curls. What I've gone with on these, instead of trying to make it look good for the camera look, when I do an easy bar with a closed grip, I look more jacked. But at this point, it's about building biceps. Besides, I've got the band curls and everything. We'll do that too. So at this point, it's like, look, what's going to give me the best biomechanical edge? And that's to just take a shoulder width. What's a nice, comfortable, normal grip, get that wrist cocked back, and just do the sets to failure. Just do some nice, strict, solid curls to momentary failure. And that's where it is, right around 12 reps, even with this weight. That is momentary failure. And failure means we're not over here swinging and cheating. I'm not trying to do cheat reps, guys, because I'm going to do so much volume to failure right at momentary failure. I'm not over here trying to do a bunch of cheat reps and overtrain them. It's like, dude, the quality of work just needs to be really high. I want very large volumes of quality bicep work at this point, and that's what we're getting. So again, we're getting just a little bit of shoulder movement forward, not much, just to get that other function of the bicep. We could argue I don't need that with the preacher curls though. I could make a case for that because of the preacher curls, we might not even need it. We might not even need it. All right? So, 3 sets of 12 of this to failure. And again, I know a lot of people who are like, oh, so many guys have very great biceps doing cheat curls. And it's like, yeah, but do I need to do that? Do I need to risk a bicep tear when I could just do quality work? And if I want a big compound, maybe I could just work the chins and other stuff back in, right? So I don't need to do any of that. It's not necessary. Let's just work the biceps. Strictly keep the tension on the bicep. Okay? Keep the tension on the bicep. But I'm leaning in that direction, with the other thing. I mean, I always go back and forth of should I continue to just do overhand grip stuff for my lats, or should I always do more supine? And I rotate back and forth, and I think it's fine to rotate back and forth. If anything, me doing that all the time for a few weeks back and forth has probably prevented overuse. So that's one of those things to where there's a method to my madness, to where even me going, do I want to do chins for a few weeks and then pull-ups for a few weeks? I want to do overhand and underhand curls for a few weeks, right? When you really look at it, what's the benefit? Probably avoiding some overuse issues by rotating them, and I progress on them every time, right? We progress on them. But it's worth considering just to say, look, can we just keep hammering more and more and more bicep volume? As long as it's quality volume and I'm recovering, my protein's high, everything's good. And it's my arms are really the only thing getting those crazy volumes. But how many guys out there do it? And the people say, why aren't they overtraining? Well, because quite frankly, arms just don't have that much muscle. It's kind of hard to overtrain. Not like a leg. It's not like squats. Not like squats. But I mean, that's the thing. Let's talk about that for a minute. So I'm going to do the curls, and I do my incline curls. Incline curl is one of my favorites. One of the hands down best bicep exercises. I get a deeper contraction. Like the contraction I get on that exercise it's really second to none. I feel it probably more than I think anything else I do. So I'm gonna keep incline curls in no matter what, just because I feel the bicep so intensely. Just like with my pull-ups, I get people who argue about, your pull-ups, I don't like them. But the cramp and the intense contraction my lats get on the pull-ups, okay, is nothing ever touches it, nothing even close. So clearly it works, and look at my back. All right. But, let's think about all this pump work. Like I've watched the arm bros, and I've watched guys just come in and do endless sets of curls and tons of curls and just pump the crap out of their arms and then finish with bands and all sorts of. I was watching some guys do that not long ago who had great arms, and their physiques weren't on my level. I mean, I just mogged them. I was thicker, wider, denser, wider back, smaller waist, bigger legs, but man, did they have arms. Man, did they have arms. And I think we have to admit that, guys. Those of us even who do this other stuff, the guys who just pump the crap out of their arms long enough have great arms, don't they? Even look at Matt Irving with some of that. Dude has great arms, and he can't train most of his upper body. Now, I wouldn't be happy with the rest of his upper body, to be fair. It's smaller than mine, but look at the dude's arms. And he does tons and tons and tons of volume. I think we can get away with it. Again, if it's stuff that we're not doing a bunch of cheat curls and stuff that's going to beat you up. All right, the preacher curls here, I decided just because of time constraints, just going back and forth, especially if I'm going to do so much volume, I decided to not do the dumbbells today. I'm just like, let me just grab that closed grip easy bar. Why? Because we'll work a different function. Look how close in. Because I'm doing the other stuff wider. So if we look at the different angles, we're probably getting a little bit different angle here. Taking them to failure. And that also shows you guys when I say that is my full lockout. Watch when I hit failure on these. My arms don't appear to be straight, but my joint is locked. Like that as far as I can go. When you see me hit the failure, look at those pauses. All right, that's full range of motion. Absolutely full range of motion for me. What you're going to do. But also, again, hopefully we drop a little bit of the water around the waist with the carbs super low now. I picked up a couple pounds. I'm still going to just say 207, but even though I've added more and more cardio, I've dropped carbs lower. Picked up a hair of water, but I think eventually it's going to balance out. I think what I'm going to do is just increase my water intake to compensate. That's probably what I'm going to do. Put me in a good place there. So I think what I'm going to go do instead of my glasses of water, I must go get some gallon jugs. A couple of those. I get a couple gallon jugs just to keep them full. Keep them full. Keep knocking it down. Start putting like in a whole gallon some of my cherry limeade, right, just for flavor. But yeah, the preacher curls, did these hard, took these to failure like right there. I'm just feeling I can't do another rep. I'm just stuck at the bottom. Because my tongue comes out. It's like, man. And then I'm like, all right, so now my biceps have been hit with all this weight, all this stuff in the 10 to 15 rep range, right? Then I just pumped the crap out of them. I did these all about 60 seconds apart and just took all these sets to failure. These were like 30-ish reps. We'll call it 25 plus, but who knows? I just lost count. I just did them till we would squeeze and then I couldn't do another rep. Trying to squeeze, get that contraction. This will help the bicep tendons too. You know, again, if we want to thicken those tendons, that's something to be said for that. You know, if you have muscles that are lagging, work on the tendons and blood flow to them also. It'll only help. It'll actually, here's kind of even the idea with this. As a coach, this is stuff I do, blood flow stuff like this with bands to help avoid some overtraining. We build thicker tendons, hypertrophy that stuff, so that we can push harder. Let's see if we can do this with the biceps. I'm going to keep doing it with the triceps too. We're going to probably just pump the crap out of them at the end of the 2 tricep days. More and more with bands. How about we do the same thing here with biceps? See if this takes it up the next tier, right? Getting all that extra metabolic fatigue, but we're also going to help keep those tendons healthy. Thicken those tendons, hypertrophy those tendons, get extra blood flow. Will it let me possibly train the biceps even harder safely? I'm thinking it will, but look at the pump. Look at how my arms are getting pumped like crazy here. So again, keep in mind, we did 9 really high quality sets of curls. This is just to pump the crap out of them afterwards. Now, would I say that just pump work like that's the way all the time? No. But we trained them really hard first. Like today was a really solid workout. Look at the back work and then look at the bicep work. That was all solid. This is just finishing them off. Again, but I'm only going to train them once a week. But then again, I'm also going to do the hammer curls on the forearm day with the bands. Super happy with this pump. Like it was so intense at the end. Again, just keep working them. But really happy with today's workout. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.